This piece would have stood quite tall, so it would have been a real presence on a table, and having lots of different containers to hold fruit and sweets in, it would have been a real showstopper. I really like these patterns. They're like stars and clover shapes, and I really like the regularity with which they've been drawn and pierced out. The technique of piercing is basically sawing with a very fine blade. All of these small patterns would have been done by drilling a hole, threading a blade through, and then literally piercing round very fine detail. Having done this technique, I know what an incredible amount of work it is, so I really admire the patience of whoever pierced this out. I'm sure on a table setting, a piece like this would have reflected the candlelight which was on the table at the time, possibly creating shadows on the table which would have added to its effectiveness. Although this piece has quite a lot of piercing in it, it still feels really stable, and that's because of this wire which is soldered around the edge. It feels quite a sturdy piece, and it's got a base wire as well to add some weight to keep it stable on the table. Here we have a little dish which would sit in this ring as part of the centrepiece, and it's got this chased detail on it which is done in a spiral kind of pattern, and I can tell from the back that it's chased using quite fine punches, and they vary from thicker lines into thinner lines. I quite like these little bells, although I'm not so keen on the pineapple. However, I do like these leaves which are splaying out from the centre with the pineapple kind of placed on top. So just picking up the roof of this centrepiece, it feels quite good to hold because you've got the tactile pineapple, and also looking how it's been made from the underneath, it looks like there's been folds formed in the metal which have then been cleverly punched from the inside to make this tactile effect here, which I quite like. It's quite interesting to think how these pieces were made, and I presume they might have been modelled in wax and then cast, and maybe had some texturing added afterwards. Because this piece is made up of so many different parts, thinking back to how it might have been made, there might have been different people working on different techniques in the piece. In my work, I kind of work on all aspects of it myself.